We're going live. I bet that means that I can go and watch us live if I wanted.
You should be able to. I'm checking that now to make sure it's on the tubes of you.
YouTube of you.com
There's live.
/ what is it, like GMen show?
Yeah. Okay, we are on.
Oh, it's not GMen show.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say?
How long have we been married?
I don't know. It's like, don't tell me how to drive.
Bam. What, honey?
Oh, shit.
Ooh. I asked if on YouTube it's GMen show, and you went, yeah. You weren't listening to me, and no, I realized that right after I typed it, and I got the 404 monkey.
If you type in, if you go to YouTube, search for Vert Shark, and then hit live Shark. And see what comes up, or it might just come up for you.
Wow. Okay. So your headshot.
Yeah, I know. It's like I chose that on purpose.
But the thing is, as soon as I saw the photo, I'm like, oh my God, I remember.
Yeah, that was back at the Macworld Expo.
Yeah. Good times. Okay. So that's the one I need to select.
Yes.
And here we go. GMen 45. Okay. So I should have gone to Vert Shark to begin with.
Yeah, that's the channel that I push everything through. Now, the GMen show and all of the other podcasts and whoops, what did I just do? I don't know what I just did. I did something bad. What did I do? Oh, okay. I know what I did. Hold on. Oh, come on, Google.
Yeah, Google, come on.
Damn it. I keep cursing. Don't curse.
Yeah, don't curse. Damn it.
Mother fudge.
Puss bucket.
And as soon as it comes up here, come on. There it is. All right, good. Wow. It's only 10 after 11 and everything works.
Wow.
I know. I'm stunned.
I want to know where the real guy is. Well, what have you done with his body?
He's in a closet over there. You know, I used some what is the trope they always do in the movies? What they pour it on a napkin or something like that to knock someone out.
Oh yeah.
I keep wanting to say ethanol, but that is not. Don't use ethanol and put that up to someone's face to try to knock them out. Ether, yes, ether. Yeah, not ethanol. For anyone who's watching this, don't do that. I claim no responsibility whatsoever if you kill someone doing it that way. And especially if they're smoking a cigarette, because their whole face will just catch on fire. That's also not good. Don't do that either.
Yeah, these are really good life tips.
Yeah, well, you know, I try to be helpful in people who do kidnappings.
Hey, I'm pretty sure real guy locked in the closet. He's banging on the door, yelling, "Hit record, you dumbass!"
Hit record. Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Okay, you ready to do this thing?
Sure. Let's do it.
Man, sorry. I got real shaky hands today.
Did you have breakfast?
I did.
Did you have a snacky snack after brekkie breck?
I did.
Okay.
But I mean, I just ate like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. Had, what did I have? I had Greek yogurt with blueberries and an English muffin with cream cheese.
Wow. You're all fancy.
Well, I'm actually, because when I got back from Macstock, I gained like 10 pounds. You know, I mean, going to Portillo's 3 times in a row, and all the other food we were eating has a tendency to do that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, that is a thing. So, normally when I'm home, what I was doing before was a grapefruit and an English muffin, and I figured, okay, well, I'm gonna switch that up a little bit, and I went to plain Greek yogurt that I put blueberries into, so it's not like it's artificially flavored or has blueberries from 10 years ago in it, or however that works. Okay, let's let me go back to. No, that's Warp Speed Weirdos. It should be the one right next to it. It is. Yay.
Oh, look at that.
Titles.
You found it.
I know. Wow. So, freaking organized. Freaking. Okay, you ready?
I am ready.
I'm going to go from splash page to you, title, and then opening song.
Oh, so I'm doing the title. Okay.
Or I can do do you want to read the intro instead? That's fine with me. I don't care.
Nope. I wasn't sure what I was doing, but now I know.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome to my world. All right.
Yeah. It's the little wins.
It is. It really is.
Okay, everyone. Here it is. The GMen Show 45. Speed limits.
Yeah, it's the GMen Show. Talking fruit, tech, and ego. Hot takes, cold coffee, still hitting every keynote. They roast your phone. No. They roast each other. Tips, rants, one after another. Is that a feature or just a bug? Either way, it gets a shrug. GMen Show. Turn it up. Let the fanboys know. Questions, rants, or a nerdy confession. Call in now. Join the obsession. 73828467777. 738284677. Yeah!
Yeah!
And welcome everyone to the GMen Show. I'm Guy, and he's Joff. Joff with a G.
You are doing your best to make me pretentious, aren't you?
Well, I just didn't want to overstate the obvious. I figured you were going to get there on your own, and it was just taking a while. All right. Okay. The MacBook Neo is a certified hit and all accomplished with a mobile chip. How well do you think a Mac Neo would do? If you have questions about performance, well, we're here to set it straight. And as I said, we have Jeff Gamet, but you can just call him Jeff because he's not fancy. Hello, Jeff. How are you?
I am not fancy, and I'm doing great. And I'm amazed that you continue to invite me back, but at the same time, I know you, so I totally get it.
It should be obvious. I need someone with that energy that can just bring it every single time. And real quick, Jeff and I also recorded a new Warp Speed Weirdos last night, which will be out certainly by the time this show comes out. It'll be available both through your podcast catcher of choice, though you'll need to subscribe to, just look up Warp Speed Weirdos. There's already one episode there, so you can subscribe to it, as well as the YouTube video, which is going to be on the Vert Shark channel. I've got both of those edited. All I need to do is just upload them and I'm done. But speaking of things that could be a little crazy, I'm also kind of flying without a net this week, Jeff.
That's like going commando, right?
It kind of is. It's kind of like not wearing underpants. The way I record this show usually is I record the video and then I record the audio separately through a different program. And because Ecamm, I love this program and no, I'm not getting paid I would love to have Ecamm as a sponsor. I truly, truly would. Ecamm also records all the audio in separate tracks. So Jeff's audio will be separate from mine. Audio from like this right here.
Guy and Gaz, the G-Men, are podcasting superheroes.
Yes.
Can't you just picture them in spandex?
No, I cannot picture them in spandex.
I'm picturing it right now, and I'm going to send you my therapist bill.
I would. Yeah, I get that. I really, really, truly get that. But even that's whoa, no, don't do it again.
Luckily, that's on a different track, so you could edit that out.
I can, but I've already mentioned it. But something that you brought up, and it's been in the show notes for years, many, many years, is right under the title. What does it say, Jeff?
Hit record, you dumbass.
And there's a reason why that's there, because I have recorded shows in the past and forgot to hit record in whatever program it was I was using to record audio. And that's just not good. And so I put that in there to remind myself to hit record, you dumbass. So before we move on to anything else, Jeff, you got some stuff going on. What you got going on?
I'm going to Black Hat conference this week for the first time. Yeah. And for everyone that doesn't know, that this is like a security and hacker conference. And
does everybody like wear masks and?
Oh yeah, everyone's got the V for Vendetta mask on the whole time
when they check into the hotel.
Yeah, they use each other's cards.
Here's my ID. Wink, wink.
Yeah, it's. Now you have me wondering. Oh, do I have to turn my phone off the whole time I'm there?
You might have to.
Oh man, can I borrow your phone for a week?
Sure.
No reason.
Why not?
Anyhow, yeah. So Vegas in August with a bunch of hackers.
August. That's going to be hot.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like, wow, what a great time. It's going to be hot. No.
It's going to be hot, but I'm preparing for it because as we record, the temperature, the high for me today in Colorado will be 105 Fahrenheit, which will still be cooler than it's going to be when I'm in Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm staying indoors.
I would definitely. I spent some time in Saudi Arabia in November, and it was like 110 in the shade. And people kept telling me, it's a dry heat. And I was like, shut up. It's still freaking hot. Too hot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, so here's what I've got going on. Next week is going to be just nuts. So it's my wife's birthday, so I need to bake a cake. And I love to cook, but baking is not one of my strong points. So
cooking is art, baking is science.
Yeah. And I'm certainly more artful than I am sciencey. So the other thing I'm doing is one of my sons, Peter, is moving to a new city. And I've talked about it on the show before. His wife is going to Japan to do this language program. It's immersive, not just for her, but for the kids that she'll be teaching in this like remote area of Japan. So they'll be learning English while she's learning Japanese. And she's getting paid for this.
That's cool. That's super cool.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't pay enough for Peter to go along. But this has been like a dream of hers since she first got into education before she went into college. So this is like a dream come true. And there was no reason for Peter to stay in a 2-bedroom apartment in the city that he was in with his wife not going to be there. So he's going to be moving to this other city and bunking with a friend of his. So on Saturday, I think it's Saturday, we're going to be, or he's going to pick up a U-Haul truck. We're going to load up all of his crap and go to the new city, unload all of his crap. And then the two of us come back up to where he's living now so that the next day he can have the fun time of bringing his cat that hates to travel all the way down to his new city. And I'm like,
Nice.
yeah, better you than me. And if he makes any kind of suggestion along the lines of, well, you'll have room in your car, Dad, why don't you just take the cat with you? I'll be like, let me think about that. No.
Yeah.
No. Not going to happen. All right. Moving on from all the personal stuff that I just know people are fascinated by. Actually, there's one more thing. Jeff, I am still loving my Heil PR35 microphone. It's luscious. I love this thing. It's so great.
That is a wonderful microphone. I'm still rocking my Rode Podcaster.
Mm-hmm. I've got one.
And I love this thing. I got this, I think, when they were relatively new, because this mic now has to be
15
pushing
years old?
At least.
Yeah. Because I remember when I got one, and honestly, I should have returned it because I only used it for a couple of shows because it did not do my voice any justice at all.
Yeah, see, people don't get that microphones are like shoes or underpants. Just because it fits you doesn't mean it's going to fit everyone else.
Right, especially if it's used.
Right. Huh. Well, now I have another therapy bill coming up. Anyhow. Yeah, but this mic, as soon as I tried it, I knew I'd found the mic that fit my voice really well. And so I've just stuck with it.
It's USB too. So
yes,
there's like no other gear that you need for audio. It just plugs right in.
Which I love. I know a lot of people go on about, oh, if you're not using XLR, you're failing. No. Use the mic that works for your system and your voice. And I don't need to have a breakout box because my audio input system is very simple. My audio output is stupid complicated.
That is a subject that we will go into maybe after the show, because I'd really like to hear about that. Why don't we go on over to Gaza Snippets?
Gaza Snippets, headlines fly, we just clip it. Bite-sized buzz, you won't miss it. Hey, tap in quick, Gaza Snippets, blinking, you get the gist of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
First story I've got tonight. In the fun with imaginary numbers department, it's strange how just a few words can mean so much. In Tim Cook's final earnings call as Apple's CEO, he was answering a question about supply restraints for some components that Apple needs. Cook described them as very significant, talking about them as bad for everyone. Cook has said there's very little Apple can do, especially at the scale that the company needs for many of its products. The restraints caused mainly by many of the same components needed for data center hardware, with not much left for the consumer side. The effect of these talks drove Apple's stock down by almost $400 billion, meaning the company has barely 4.5 trillion left in market capitalization. So they're doomed.
Clearly. My favorite part about this is Tim Cook stating the obvious for the entire technology industry.
Yeah.
And then the analysts showing that the stock market is absolutely driven by emotion and not math, because faced with the reality that all the companies are experiencing, the analysts were like, wait, what? And downgraded Apple, and people started, and their stock value dropped, and simply because Tim Cook said, yeah, this affects everyone.
I would love to be a fly on the wall in some of these companies that rate stocks, and to see how much these same analysts shorted Apple before the announcement. I wonder. Yeah.
Actually, wouldn't that be against the law?
It would be against the law. Very much so.
Hmm.
I know you have a point, but it's
Yeah,
like,
but
when did they
still.
ever care about the law? You know, it's the way, and it's kind of like what I said for the title of this story, Fun with Imaginary Numbers. You get
Mhm.
to a certain point where the numbers don't mean anything. You know, they're just there. And this is definitely one of those times when you're talking about $4.5 trillion in market capitalization. That's just crazy. And it wasn't
Yeah.
that long ago that everybody was freaking out because Apple hit 1 trillion. You
Yeah.
know, now we're at $5 trillion in market capitalization, and everyone's screaming that the sky is falling because it lost 400 billion.
And that's yeah. We are talking imaginary numbers now. I mean,
Yes.
a million, that's really, really difficult to truly conceptualize. A billion, yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And a trillion, okay, now we're just talking wizards and unicorns.
We're
It's
just making stuff up at this
we're
point.
just making stuff up. Yeah.
Okay, the next story in the almost makes me want to go back to kindergarten department. With August now here, the back to school deals are coming with no time for you to breathe. Best Buy has a variety of products at various discounts from $100 for AirPod Pro Max 2s to $500 for a 16-inch MacBook Pro. They have other Apple related things, but who cares? Apple also is offering the same MacBook Pro for $500 off as well. $10 off AirTags, $100 off an Apple Watch 11. Do you like try to take advantage of any of these deals, or do you have to have an EDU account in order to do so?
Well, back to school deals,
Or for
that's
everybody?
typically for everybody.
Right.
So for me, it's not, oh, it's on sale, I'm buying it now. It's, I need the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do I buy now, or do I know that there's a seasonal sale coming up in a reasonable amount of time and I wait for that? Like Amazon Prime Days is another example. Uh,
Right.
um, and yeah, but then I'm always watching to see where the deals are. For example, I recently, like right after we got back from Macstock,
Mm-hmm.
I went and bought AirPods Pro because my audiologist had told me that I needed them because I do have a hearing loss issue, but not enough to warrant hearing aids.
Which are
She's
like
like, "Oh,
$2,000 to $3,000.
yeah," and she's like, "All you need are AirPods Pro, and they're freaking magic." She was right, but um, I didn't have to pay full price for them because Costco has them on sale for $199 with 2 years of Apple Care included. And so I picked them up on that deal. By the way, they extended that price. So instead of ending in late July, you can still go to Costco and get AirPods Pro for $199.
That is, and that's a really good price. And remember as well, not you, but everybody out there that hopefully is listening, you can actually give yourself a hearing test using AirPod Pros. Now
Yeah.
I've got the AirPod Pro 3s. I have not been able to get it to work. But I'm guessing it's partially because Apple wants me to buy AirPod Pros 4. But of course I can't say for certain, but
It's
it
well,
just
it's supposed to work
with the
the
threes.
with the threes. I
Yeah.
I have the fours. Um and it worked super slick. Now, of course, I already have my audiology results,
Right.
so I could have manually entered info in, and I may go do that. But I did Apple's audiology test, and just to see how that would work. And it was interesting for me knowing the hearing loss issues that I have, where I knew I should be hearing a tone but couldn't.
Really? So did did the Apple hearing test not agree with your audiologist test?
Well, the Apple hearing test was actually a little kinder to me than the real test,
Yeah.
but there were places where, as the pitches go higher, it's high frequency hearing that that I've lost some of,
Okay.
and so I'd hear the pitch go higher and then higher, and then it's gone, and there's this long period where I'm not hearing anything. But because I already knew that I had a problem, I knew that I wasn't hearing anything, not because it's pausing, but because I can't hear the tones that it's playing.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. So
But
are you
anyhow,
using AirPod Pros as your everyday kind of hearing aid?
but yeah, but I don't wear them all the time because I don't need to.
Okay.
Where it matters is if I'm in like a larger group of people,
Mhm.
because that's where that hearing range loss makes it difficult to pick out voices in a larger group.
Do you use
Um,
like an ear hook or anything to make sure it stays secure, or do you just put
I
them
just
in
stick
and
them in my ears and call it good.
okay. Yeah, I have trouble keeping mine in because I go for daily walks and I have to be aware that as I can feel it start to slip out. And at that point it's like, nope, 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 push it back in kind of thing. And I don't know if there's, maybe a different ear tip might make a difference.
My suggestion for that,
Hmm.
Westone, they make like those dense foam ear
Yeah.
tips that you can use as replacements for that rubbery silicone ear tip that Apple offers. And on my previous AirPods Pro, that had the old style
Yeah.
silicone ear tips, I put the Westones on, and then I had a good fit, and they stayed in my ears. On
Okay.
the
Well,
AirPods Pro 4, so far they seem to be working fine with Apple's tips. But if I ever have a problem, I'm just going to get the Westone replacements.
okay. What do they
They're
run?
great. It's not that expensive. You get a pack of them. It's
Hmm.
like 6 in a pack or something, and shipped. I want to say it's like $15 or something.
Oh,
It's not expensive.
okay. I'm going to have to look into that.
Now watch
Uh,
someone will write into the show or call into the show on na 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 tra, 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 and they'll be like, Jeff doesn't remember right. You must be getting old because it's actually $200. No, it's not $200, but
okay.
they're pretty inexpensive.
Oh, last story, because we are definitely in the doldrums of tech news at the moment. In the Apple to charge for heavy AI users through iCloud Plus, but does it vaguely department, Apple says there will be daily limits on some AI services without specifying what some of those services are, what the limits will be, how much going over might cost, and how much expanded storage on iCloud Plus will grab from our wallets. Some analysts praised Apple for being so upfront with how this will affect everyday users. Sarcasm slash sarcasm.
Yeah. Okay. I can read a lot into this because why not?
It's what we're here for.
That's what we're here for. Um, I think Apple was really smart in making these vague statements when they did, because
Okay.
what they're doing is telegraphing to everyone, hey, if you're going to be using Apple AI features, that's not free. Now everyone knows. And because there was that question, is Apple going to charge or not? And they've established, yeah, they're going to charge.
Of course.
I think that the vagaries we're seeing in this is because Apple is still sorting out how they're going to charge, and
And what they're going
and
to
they,
charge for.
right, and what's the threshold with? Here's what you get when you have iCloud Plus, and here's what you get if you have iCloud Plus, and you're paying for upgraded storage or whatever they're going to do.
Yeah.
And once they get all of that nailed down, then we'll get the announcement. And they still have a little bit of time
Yeah, yeah.
because
You're looking at
it'll be what, September when we
5 weeks at
actually get
least.
these features probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
But yeah, it
what
would
I
have been
don't
nice to
think,
have solid
yeah,
numbers
something.
now.
What I don't think they're going to charge for is the kind of AI stuff that we're already using through some of their programs, pages and numbers
Ye
and things like that. It's going to be the extra stuff like what you might use ChatGPT or Perplexity or, some of the other AI programs or platforms that you want to use. But the stuff that's built into Apple's native programs, I don't think will count toward your limit. And of course, I have no idea. But
I think it will count, but after a threshold. And Apple has set us up for that already, because if you're using the AI features that are in the new Pages, Numbers, Keynotes, um, I mean, there's a limited part that's free,
mhm.
but then there's the part that when you have which I forget which subscription includes the extra
I'm
AI
on the
compute
two
time.
terabyte plan. So,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you've got extra compute time, but
okay.
then that's still an allotment. And if you run through your compute time tokens or whatever they're calling it, then you get cut off, or you now have more limited access. So it's not an unlimited thing already, and I expect that's not going to change. Now
Really?
it's
Okay.
just for the new AI things. How does that fit into the pricing scheme?
Well, I guess we'll find out some point in September. And actually, we might not even find out in September. It depends on when they roll out some of these AI features into the operating
Yeah.
system going forward in the future. And of course, if you're in the EU or other countries with similar restrictions to the EU, you're not going to get any of it until some kind of agreement is reached with Apple. So
Hmm.
if somebody, that there's going to be downloads that'll be available for people in countries like that. But if they're in, like, say, all right, I'm here in the States and I've got the full plan. I can use as much Apple intelligence as I want. If I go to France, am I suddenly going to be restricted because I'm in a country where some of that is under restriction?
I don't believe so, but that's because you have a US Apple ID and US address.
Okay.
So what you have access to, I believe, does follow you as you travel around the world. So the trick then, if you're in the EU and you really want to take advantage of these features, what do you need to do to trick Apple into thinking you're in the United States?
Wink,
And well,
wink.
step one is, well, now you have to have an Apple ID in the United States. Now you have to have an Apple credit card in the United States. Now in addition to all that, you probably are also going to have to trick Apple into thinking you're physically in the United States, because they already know that you live in France or um, Austria or wherever.
Right, right. It seems like there should be a conference in some place like Las Vegas where people can talk about these things.
That idea is just so crazy.
I
It
know.
might work.
It just might work. Okay, that's all the snippets I have for this week, Jeff.
Last flash from Gaz's snippets. Apple News on the brain. Scroll it, swipe it. That's a segment. Now we're jumping off the train.
Yeah. The only reason I show up is so that I can be here for the bumpers.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, hey. And one of these days, just because I'm that kind of person, I am probably going to drag these two songs into CapCut and make like little videos for them as well, with people jumping around and doing all kinds of stupid things. Maybe a little
Sort of like we were just doing.
exactly, but it'll be all automated. So we can just sit here and go, okay, get ready for the next section.
All right, I have a question for you because
Yeah.
um, uh, you do have other people on
Mhm.
because we are doing our best to fill in for Gaz until he's able to come back.
Yes.
So when I hear the bumpers, I start bouncing around and just being an idiot. Do you have other people that when the bumper starts, they just kind of like go and wait for it to end because they're used to being just on audio? Now we have to be quiet because there's a bumper.
No, nobody has to be. I mean, like during the Gaza snippet outro, you said something, and it's like, this is kind of a freestyle kind of tech podcast. And what I tell people about this show, I said, there's a lot of people out there that get turned off by tech shows because a lot of times they are too technical and they don't understand what it is that the people are saying, or they go into topics, especially when you start getting really, really deep into
Mm-hmm.
security or programming or stuff like they don't understand it. And so their brain just kind of goes and they
Mm-hmm.
turn off. Well, not to worry, the GMen show is the tech show for you because we don't go deep into anything.
Because we're melon heads.
We kind of are. We kind of are.
Um,
Oh, and Gaz may be back, not next show, but the one after that. He may be
that's
back on for that show.
fantastic.
I know. I am really excited. I talk to him. I'm talking to him now every single week. And
Fantastic.
it is so good to hear him. Something that we have addressed on the show before, but I don't know if you've heard this. Gaz claims that he has been my free therapist since 2010. And I cannot disagree with that.
Send him
Because
a
I
bill.
am a little off the wall.
Just a touch. All right. I think I have the most important question of the day now.
Okay.
Does Chuck Joyner dance to the bumpers?
He was shaking his head back and forth. He was into it. I could tell.
You have no idea how happy that makes me.
I think we both like to shake Chuck up a little bit.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. Oh my God. And the fact
Yeah.
that he puts up with you or me, or even worse, when the two of us are on the show together on Mac Voices, which you can watch and listen to live on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to make sure if we're going to talk about Chuck, I got to plug his show.
Yeah, which sounds way better than saying I got to plug Chuck.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be into that.
So probably not.
At some point you have to say, are we even asking? Are we asking for permission or forgiveness?
We're never asking for permission.
Okay. Thank you, Chuck. We both love you so much and really appreciate your time and your energy for Mac Voices. Getting on to the main topic, speed limits. The MacBook Neo has been a smash hit for Apple, and the biggest question on a lot of people's minds when it was released was, how does it fare against M series Macs? As it turned out, for everyday tasks, it did pretty well. Even in tasks that you think would have a serious issue with only 8 gigabytes of RAM, it still did pretty well. Is the M5 chips looking worried and ducking for cover? No.
No,
they really are not. But let's compare what is likely to be the next A-series processor to wear a Mac crown, the A19 Pro. And what we're going to do is we're going to compare the A19 Pro in some of the various ways that it would compare to something like the M series chips. And remember that the M series chips were offshoots of the A series chips. Originally, the A series chips were for phones when Apple was still using Intel for processors. And then in 2021, they came out with the M series, which was an offshoot of the A series chips after they got like, what, 5-6 years under their belt?
Yeah,
The A
enough
series?
time to realize, yeah, we can do a desktop and laptop processor with this.
Okay. Well, then let's start off with the M1. This is
Hmm.
the baseline for a relative feel. Short burst feed or single core, it's the oldest of the group, but it's still pretty solid. If you still
Hmm.
have an M1 Mac, and I don't care if it's a MacBook Pro or an iMac or a Mac Mini or
Mini, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter. The M1 is still, I mean, I'm still rocking an M1 MacBook Pro, and it's great. I'm looking to replace it, but I'm not going to replace it until I can find something that I think is just as suitable. For a sustained multi-core, it's the lowest of the Mac chips that we're going to talk about, and
Hmm.
it is under the A19 Pro as far as multi-core goes. And the M1 also has the least effective graphics. Why don't you take the
Which is
M2?
not to say they're bad graphics.
Right, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. M1 is a very capable chip, and if you have a Mac with an M1, you have a really good computer.
You do.
Now,
You still do.
you go a step up, and that's what I have. I have an M2 MacBook Pro,
Mhm.
and there is a noticeable performance improvement between M1 and M2, depending on the tasks
Right,
you're
which is not
running
a
on your
surprise.
machine. Yeah, not a surprise. I mean, the overall performance on a Mac on an M2 is superior to an M1, and of course graphics are better on the M2. You do have faster buses built into it, so, which helps with the overall improved performance. So yeah, I mean it's still a legit computer, and even with M5 Max out right now,
Mhm.
I still haven't been able to justify replacing my M2 MacBook Pro because it's that capable.
Yeah, I actually went from, when there was a reason why I did, I went from an M1 Mac Mini to an M4 Mac Mini Pro. And
That's a nice jump.
it is. And actually, the only reason why I did it wasn't because I felt like I needed some more blazing speed, but I was about to retire and I wanted to get the M4 Pro while I still had work money coming in.
Hmm.
So, I knew that once I retired, that the time between platforms for me was going to increase. So I didn't want to wait. And that was the only reason why I got the M4 Pro.
Makes sense.
Yep.
And you're set for a long time now.
Yeah, I should be good. Moving on to the M3, this was another clear jump. Starts to feel modern. I don't know why it said that. It is.
Well, it's because
Oh, it's
you had
comparing it
AI
probably to the
talking with you.
M5 or
Yeah, but
something like
I
that.
say the M1 is still a modern chip, and it gives you modern performance, just not as good as performance as an M5.
Yeah, which makes sense. The M3 is close to the A19 Pro in single core tasks, but it's usually behind it. It is better for sustained multi-core. It is better than the M2, which would be expected, and good desktop graphics headroom. So the M3, if you're on an M3, you really don't have any unless you want to. You don't really have any reason to go to a faster computer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree. And actually, it's hard for me to justify to anyone who has any M series Mac
Mm-hmm.
to upgrade if their Mac is meeting their needs today, because
Unless you're
they are
Marty.
all very capable chips. Okay, unless you're Marty, then you need the latest, but you need 3 of them.
Yes, exactly. I think he has what, 2 Neos?
Yeah, Marty. So we're talking about Marty Gensius,
Yeah, he's been
and
on the show more than once,
okay, good.
many times.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he has a tendency. He jumps in not with 1 foot or 2 feet, but with 4 feet when he starts looking at new computers. And
He does.
that's
He commits.
I I wish I could. That's all I can say about that. Why don't you do
Mhm.
the M4?
All right. Well, we get another speed boost and over the M3 on this one, and apparently the numbers say that in single core performance, it's comparable to the A19, um, and in sustained processing, it's ahead of the A19 Pro. Excuse me, I should have said A19 Pro for
Yeah,
single core
no. Yeah,
performance
I
as
get
well.
it.
But sustained performance, it's ahead of an A19 Pro, and uh, and once again we get a graphics processor improvement just down the line. The M series processors are going to have better graphics overall
Right.
than the A series processors.
And I think that's partially because of more cores, but I think it's also just because Apple is learning with each series of the M series chips how they can improve them in ways that they couldn't with the previous generation.
Right. Yeah, and they have to balance that with power consumption and heat
Right.
dissipation. Yeah.
Right. Because I mean the great thing about the M series chips as compared to not just the Intel chips, but the PowerPC chips that came before it is fantastic mobile performance with very little heat compared to
Hmm.
its predecessors. Uh, there was a reason why we never saw a PowerPC G5 laptop because IBM
Yes.
just wouldn't commit to making them in a way that wouldn't burn the machine up without, like a friggin' turboprop. Ooh, excuse me, turboprop propeller underneath it to dissipate some of the heat.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a whole soap opera series right
Yeah.
there
Oh yeah. Yeah.
about what was going on with those processors.
Very much so. And it started with such promise too, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Not that if we wanted to, we wouldn't do it anyway.
Who's the boss of us? No one.
Nobody. That's right. Nobody can tell us what to do. Damn it. Okay, the last one here, of course, is we're not going to compare it to the M5 because this is mostly about if you have older computers or if
Hmm.
you think that a Neo type computer will fit your not only your budget because it will definitely fit your budget but fit your needs for either a general purpose computer or something else that you may want to use it for. So the A19 Pro is an extremely fast mobile chip, surprisingly so against older Macs. In single core, it can beat the M1, M2 and sometimes match or slightly edge the M3 and M4, and that's just in single core. It is below the M4 and especially below the M4 Pro in multi-core and sustained workflow, which is not a
Hmm.
surprise.
No, not a surprise.
Right. It's roughly comparable. If you're looking at overall, according to what I've seen, it's roughly comparable to the M2 class in graphics, according to some reports.
Hmm.
And what this is basically saying is if Apple does come out with a Mac Neo, if you already have an M3 or better computer, you're better off sticking with that. If you're still, after all this time, still on Intel, if you're on an M1 or M2, or if you're just coming over to the Mac platform for the first time, a Mac Neo, assuming that, and we don't even know if one of these things is going to come out. It
Hmm.
makes sense that it would, especially considering the success of the MacBook Neo, but we don't know for sure. We're basically speculating into the future to see what
Hmm.
might happen. But if you're on an M2 or M1, if you're just coming over to the Apple platform, or if you're still on an Intel Mac, an A19 Pro Mac Neo would likely suit your needs just fine at a deeply, deeply discounted price as compared to some of these others.
I agree. Okay, now
Yes.
here's where I have problems with a desktop A series Mac, a Neo,
Okay.
a Mac Neo. And that's when you look at the way the architecture for an M series versus an A series chip was created. An
Mhm.
A series chip was designed originally to have a single IO port, physical port. Now, Apple did some magical skullduggery for the MacBook Neo, so it can have two USB ports.
And one can be used for charging.
And yes, and one can be used for charging. So when you take that over to a desktop series computer,
Mhm.
now you have unless you're making it like an iMac, you have the added overhead of how do I get a display to work on this as well, an external display, and am I going to limit it to you to Bluetooth only for keyboard and mouse, because you at this point you only have two USB ports. You don't even have Thunderbolt
Right.
on the computer.
It
So
just wasn't designed for that.
no, it wasn't. So at what point does Apple say, well, this threshold for this processor, going beyond that would not be a satisfactory product. So is that threshold going from a laptop to a desktop computer? I don't know.
Well,
And
no,
how big
neither
of a
do I.
display can you drive with that before
Well,
you
how
start
big of a
having serious
display could you
performance
drive
improvements?
with the Neo? I'm going to find out here in just a second.
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Let's see. Can a MacBook Neo drive an external
SUV. No, wait.
monitor? It is searching the web. Yes, the MacBook Neo can drive an external monitor, but with the important limitation, it supports only one external display up to 4K resolution at 60 hertz. Okay, so
Okay.
it can do it. And I would guess that if you got a Mac Neo, that it would have the same limitation. Probably like a single HDMI output and no more. You couldn't add another monitor to it. That would be my guess.
Yeah, and but still, you'd have to have a USB to HDMI converter.
Well, they obviously already have one because the MacBook Neo can do it. So
Oh,
you're going
sure.
from USB-C.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I wasn't implying that. Well, now we have to invent a new adapter, but just clarifying that if you're hooking up an HDMI monitor, you're going to be using an adapter.
Right.
And yes,
right.
that adapter does exist. I have one in my bag so that I can plug in my iPad to an HDMI connector.
For like hotel room TV sets and stuff.
Yeah, or at conferences when you're doing a presentation. Like at Macstock. That's exactly what I did.
What I was about to say.
Yeah, I used an HDMI adapter to plug my iPad into the projector system for my presentation.
Okay, and last question before we get off this topic. Assuming that Apple would actually make something like this, and it would probably be in size somewhere between, pardon me, a Mac Mini and an Apple TV. What do you think the cost would be or should be?
That's actually hard now to sort out because component prices have changed so radically.
Right.
And
this thing would have probably 12 to 16 gigs of RAM, whatever the A19 Pro limit is.
So, all right, what did Apple? They bumped up the price of the Apple TV. So it's more than an Apple TV. and the Apple TV with Ethernet built in is, what is that?
199, I think. Isn't it
No, I think
199
it's,
now, or is it
or
more?
I think it's more. I think it's like 249.
Okay, for the upper end
So
version.
yeah, so that tells me that probably the lowest price you would see on a Mac Neo would be $399.
Okay, but
And
considering
so what's the
Apple's
base price of a
margins,
mini?
a mini's base price is $799 now.
Okay. So then in that case, maybe we'd be looking at a $499
to $599, I think.
Neo.
Yeah, somewhere between there, or either, I should say. I think it would either
Mhm.
be $499 or $599. So it would be priced to be under the cost of a Mac Mini. holy free holies! My voice is just messing up. Under the cost of a Mac Mini, to make it attractive, but not so close to a Mac Mini that people just go and get the Mac Mini instead.
Yeah. Well, yes.
And the same kind
Yeah.
of, it's going to be 12 to 16 gigs of RAM with two choices, 256 or 512 for storage. And the 512 storage, of course, bumps the price up.
Yeah. And yes. So now the alternative here is just take the Neo,
Mm-hmm.
put the guts into into a little desktop case, and instead of having the battery there, you just have a connector for your external power supply.
Right. And it would have, and in order to keep it that small, it would have to be an external power supply.
I think so. I mean, with the Mini, it has an internal power supply.
Right.
And well,
that's a switchable power supply as well. So it doesn't matter if you get one here in the States or you get one in Europe, you plug it into power and it's going to accept anything from 120 to 240 volts.
So, okay, so they could do that too.
Yeah. I don't know how big the power, I don't know how big the power supply is though in the Mac Mini. It's obviously not really big because I'm looking at mine right now and that's tiny.
It's tiny. Yeah, it's not that much bigger than an Apple TV.
Right. So anyway, that's unless you got something else, that's all I got on that.
All right. I'm good.
Okay, so are you nodding your head? I think you are.
Oh, yeah.
I see it. That's not the right one.
Hit it. Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Gaz's tips.
Mostly.
Guesses what?
Tips.
Time for
Gaz's tip.
Okay, if you're looking for an image that someone sent you in a text some time ago, well, you can sit there and go scroll until you find it, but there's an easier way. Just go to messages, then tap on the picture of the person that you're talking to that sent you that image, and then under their name, there'll be like 4 or 5 little different choices. One of those is going to be photos, and then just the images that person sent you will appear. And I did not know this until my wife pointed it out to me yesterday when I was going to the store, and she was like, well, I sent you an image some time ago of this particular, I'm going to go ahead and say it, particular kind of cat food that we know both of our cats will like. And so when I got to the store, it was like, oh, where is it? And I finally found it and, got the preferred cat food because, I don't like getting yelled at by my wife. And
Fair.
And when I got home, I told her, it was like, yeah, boy, I had to really scroll. And she's like, well, why are you doing that? Do this instead. Beep, beep, beep. And it's like, oh, I did not know that did that. So you learn something new every day.
All right. That's a super cool tip. And I
one?
know. Oh, no, I'm going to praise you for learning something new.
Oh, yeah. Well, at my age, will it still be there tomorrow?
No, but then the great thing is you can learn it new again, um,
All over again.
all over again. So this is a feature that's been in messages for a long time,
Mhm.
but instead of saying, "Well, I can't believe you didn't know about this feature. It's been there forever." I'm excited that you have learned something that's actually really useful.
Very much
And
so.
yeah, it's a super useful feature, and I'm glad it's there, and I'm glad that you know about it now too.
I'm nodding my head.
Mhm.
Hit it. That's the end of Gaz's tips. That's
Most
the
of
end of Gaz's tips. That's
Most
the
of
end. Of
That's the end of Gaz's what?
It's at the,
That's the end of
of
Gaz's tips.
Gaz, you are absolutely right.
Okay, that's the dance that we do when we have the closing.
I
Gaz's
appreciate you
tips.
entertaining me.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm here for. It is what I'm here for. Do you have a for pick's sake this week, Jeff?
I do.
Ooh, tell
And
me.
this is a brand new thing that you probably don't know about, and the whole G crew doesn't know about
Tell us.
yet. This is Terminal Widget. And so this
Wow.
this is a widget tool for your Mac that our good friend Brett Terpstra
Oh yeah.
just released. And so what it does is it gives you a widget so that you can take whatever's being output from your terminal on your Mac, or you can use it like with shortcuts and other automation things too. And so you can have this widget on your desktop that just has all of this information that's being output from like terminal scripts and
Nice.
other automation things. And yeah, he has it over at Product Hunt right now. So you can head over there and find Terminal Widget. And there's actually he has a website for Terminal Widget. You know what? I'm going to throw the URL for that into your show notes too.
All right.
So you have both.
Excellent. Excellent. Do you remember when dashboard widgets first came out? I think
I
it was
do.
for Tiger.
Yeah,
Mac OS 10.4, I think it was.
I don't remember which OS version, but yes, I remember when those came out, and it was so cool. All the different things we were doing with them back in the
Yeah.
day.
And one of my first forays into podcasting was a show that sounded horrible because I changed the way I recorded every single week. It was called the Dashboard Minute. That used to be one of the shows that Tim Robertson would play
Mm-hmm.
during the My Mac podcast. And at one point, I think there were like 4 different people providing these little short bits into the
Oh,
My
cool.
Mac podcast. And so that was kind of how I got started doing podcasting. Now I have a pick as well. And if you don't know about this, you should definitely go check it out. If you like using Apple News, which is it's a fine program and it's a great service.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want something that's a little more adjustable and customizable, there's a program called NetNewsWire. It's free to use, though, of
Mm-hmm.
course, they have a subscription base for it as well. You can set up the news sources that you like and stay up to date that way. I've got some various folders in there with news sources related to technology and Apple and a few others. So if I'm looking for specific information, I just go right there. I don't have to search. I don't have to do nothing. It's
Yep.
right there in NetNewsWire.
NetNewsWire is awesome,
It is.
and it's been reliable
Mhm.
and updated for at this point decades.
Yes. And it's not the flashiest of programs, you know, but everything in it just works. And it's very
Mhm.
intuitive. So, you know, the fact that the UI doesn't have, you know, glass and everything else built into it, it's not really that big of a deal because that's not what you're using a program like that for.
It's true, although it was so innovative in its day that when the interface was created,
Mhm.
that it ultimately dictated how interfaces for pretty much every app after that were
Yes.
made.
Yes, I would agree with that. If you would like to support the show, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Go to ko-fi.com/MacPettit. You can also pay a pal through paypal.me/MacPettit. And all of those monies go to me. And I would appreciate it if you did one of those, because it would help support and pay for all of the stupid things that I buy on a regular basis. Greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Also, podcasts aren't free to
No,
make.
they are not. And not typically free to host as well. But this is a labor of love. So, even if you sit there going, I'm not going to give you any money, that's fine. I'm still going to put out the podcast just to spite you. That's right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Don't send me money. I'll still keep making the podcast. You can't stop me.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not the boss of me.
You're not the boss of me. Remember, if you send me some feedback, and it doesn't matter whether it's a review, though you would have to kind of tell me that you've done a review if it's not on like Apple Podcasts or Spotify or something like that. Because otherwise, if you use some aggregator that I don't know about, I won't know until you let me know. So if you've done those kinds of reviews, you can get something that I like to call a woo tea. And if you don't know what a woo tea is, it's very, very simple. It's a big W, big O, big O, big T, little I, little E, exclamation mark. That is a Woody. And you can get one of those by doing an Apple review and letting me know where it is. And we will read it on the show as well. Even if it's a bad review. Even if you say, a guy should be working at Costco instead of doing podcasting. I don't care.
Yeah, but
This
you do
podcast
those
is
with a
not
silly
supported by
voice. Like
Costco.
guys should be working at Costco.
You guys should be working at Costco.
Yeah.
Also, you can do a bumper. And if you don't know what a bumper is, it's like a little 5 to 10 second audio snippet. Say whatever it is that you want to about us on that snippet. NC Greg, who is a longtime friend of the show, sends these to us all of the time. Thank you, NC Greg. It is greatly appreciated. Please keep it between 5 to 10 seconds. And if you must use naughty words, Marcus, then those words will be beeped. Now, Jeff, if people wanted to contact you and say, why won't Guy let me say naughty words on bumpers? How would they do it?
Well, they could find me on social media as Jay Gamut. And when they ask me that question, I will give them an honest answer, which is,
you're not the boss of me.
Yeah, you're not the boss of me. But you can also find me on my blogs, jeffgamut.com and freshbrewtales.com. And as we record, I put a new post up just yesterday on
nice.
jeffgamut.com.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got a teaser for it?
I was having trouble with the take that a lot of people were having on the new Apple Upgrade lease program.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote a blog post about it.
Nice. I happen to think that the new Apple lease program is going to help a lot of people, but that's me.
Same.
Yep.
I do not have a problem with the lease program. Also, related to that, after I wrote it, Ken Ray had the bits were barely dry on your screen, and Ken Ray had me on Mac OS Ken to talk about it too. So that episode will be coming out soon.
Yeah, because it's only like a couple of days after he records that he puts those out. Because he does what, Monday through Friday?
Yes, and here's how sausage gets made, people. You have to do some stuff ahead of time.
Yes.
So Ken and I recorded on Saturday.
That's just, and then you don't hear it until Monday or Tuesday. It's time travel.
Yeah, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah. Lingardio Leviosa. No, it's Leviosa.
Sa.
If you'd like to get a hold of me or Gaz, you can send us an email to gmenshow@icloud.com. That's GMENSHOW @icloud.com. I can be found over on the Twaxters as either Mac. Wow, words are really hard for me today. Mac Parrot
Yeah.
or Vert Shark or over on Skies of Blue is the same. You can find Gaz over on Mastodam. Mastodam. Holy God. The Dawns of Mast. Gazmaz at c.im and also as Gazmaz on Skies of Blue. And the last one is Guy and Gaz, GYANDGAZ, no space, on either Twaxties or Skies of Blue. We have a Google Voice number, Jeff. Did you know that? And I know you do because
Guy has a Google Voice number. The G-Men wants your call.
call him now. So,
And that, people, is a bumper.
yeah, that is a bumper. That is a great little bumper there. And if you're watching the show through YouTube, you can already see not just the number, but the email address as well. So go on over to VertShark and find the various G-Men shows and everything else that I do there as well. But that number is 703-828-4677. If you're outside of the United States, your country code will be 1 and then the number, and you may incur charges if you dial it directly. So find all of the other ways if you don't want to possibly be charged. Some of the other stuff I do, Guy's Daily Drive, which is an archive for all the ones I did while driving to work. And Tales from, it's a sigh at this point, Jeff. When I start to talk, it's like, Tales from the AI verse. I have like 10 written out, and I haven't done anything with them because, I don't know, I'm doing things that I probably shouldn't be doing. And it's very slow rolling out. So slow. We are at the saddest part of the show, Jeff, where we have to say goodbye.
Yeah, but before we do that, I have to tell you, Guy, I know you had to work really hard to get through that last segment.
I did.
And I'm really proud of you for doing it.
Yeah, it's like, where's my meds? My meds are here someplace to help me through this.
I need meds.
Just so many meds. I would like to say to all of you who have downloaded and listened to the show, thank you. It is greatly appreciated from the heart of my bottom. And just please keep doing so. Let all your friends and neighbors know, and your enemies and everybody else, that the G-Men show is just a fun listen. And hopefully you'll continue to listen. And on that note, Jeff, I think that this week we were good enough. And I think, well, it's a little questionable whether we were smart enough.
It's a stretch, but we'll take
made
it
through the show. Okay, so that's the important part. We made it all the way through the show. And
yeah.
Doggone it. Woof, wilf, walf, welf, wilf, which is wolf with a Y.
I thought there's an umlaut in there somewhere, but okay.
Well, oh, God. What would it? I don't even know what an umlaut sounds like. Wolf. I don't know. People.
That's it right there. Yeah, that's it.
And
you have to do
move
the
your
face
mouth in that way as well, where the jaw just kind of detaches and goes from one side to the other before it comes back up.
Which was pretty impressive to watch.
I know. So just go on over to YouTube and you can see it too. Oh, before we say that, I have a new closing for the show. So
okay,
make sure that you stay until the end, or be a bad person and just skip ahead to the end. Shaking my finger at all of you that do that. And you can see the brand new closing for the G-Men show. And I would like to say that people liked us this week. And I've got a couple of dad jokes here. Are you ready? Are you really ready?
I am. And I'll even give you one back. So hit me with your dad jokes.
All right. Here's the first one. Why did the Romulan cross the neutral zone?
I don't know, Guy. Why did the Romulan cross the neutral zone?
To get to the other side secretly.
That's so Romulan. Yeah.
I know. And I got one more Star Trek one.
Okay.
What do you call a Starfleet officer that's always late? I
don't know, Guy. What do you call a Starfleet officer that's always late?
A procrastinavigator.
Oh my God. Oh, ouch.
Oh, wait, no, I actually do have one more. One more
Okay.
Star Trek related. I asked my friend if he wanted to hear a joke about the Prime Directive. He said, I can't. That would be interfering.
Oh my God.
What you
Yes,
got?
but there's a subset of your audience that's like, I get that. That's really funny. But they can't tell you because that would be interfering.
Yeah, but they can call the number 703-828-4677.
Yeah, they
Oh,
can.
and if you did miss it,
703-828-4678.
that's right, 703-828-4644. That is the number that you can call. Now, you have a dad joke as well.
I do. Okay, so my dad joke for you is,
Mhm.
what do you get, Guy, when you
Mhm.
mix a stereo with a refrigerator?
I don't know, Jeff. What do you get when you mix a stereo with a refrigerator?
You get really cool music.
And on that note, and
Two weirdos, one starship mic, one last late night, drifting out of sight. Warp speed weirdos, roll credits, take it slow. Warp speed weirdos, see you where the Trekkies go.
and I just realized I've got the wrong closing for the show.
That's right. I was really confused about what show I was on. Hence me laughing as it starts rolling.
Oh, I
Do you have another
really
button you
thought I
could push?
had that. Huh?
Do you have another
Well,
button you could push?
No, and we're still recording. So what I'm going to do is see if I can find it, and I'll try to do some editing magic. Though I will include the other closing because that's just funny. GMen
Well, I believe in you.
close.
I understand the flaw in my logic, but here we are.
How am I going to do this? Because I don't think I can drag this in. Well, let's see what happens.
Well, I'm sorry, my friend, we've reached the end. Guy and Gaz would love to last, but they're tired. So this is the end of the podcast. Join them next week where they'll bring the news and geek. Guy and Gaz had a blast, but they're tired. So this is the end of the podcast. You can stay with the show. Call the number you all know, 703-828-4677. They're tired because 7 doesn't rhyme with podcast.
So you can all go home and there's nothing to worry about. Get out of here now. Go on. Go on home and I go home.
Okay.
They're so tired.
We're so tired. And I wonder if people will get the whole that 7 doesn't rhyme with podcast thing.
I think it's incredibly funny.
I do too. And, a lot of times when I use Suno, I'll just let it create lyrics. But when it comes to Warp Speed Weirdos and this show, all of the songs that I make, I write the lyrics. So,
Oh, wow.
yes, the music and the singing and all of that is AI generated. I own that. That's just the way it is because I cannot afford a real band to record this for me, especially with a big crowd in the background, which is the part that really
And that
cracked me
big
up.
crowd is singing along.
Yes, it's like everybody knows this song. So
Which, there's funny on multiple layers
Yes.
with that.
yes, I love that closing. I really, really do. And I cannot believe I chose the wrong one. I was like, oh, I'm so ready. Everything is just going to be wonderful. And then it's like, hit record, you dumbass.
I found it to be incredibly funny. It's like, here's the build up for the new ending for this show. and you show the wrong ending.
Yeah, I showed the wrong ending. So bad. I will fix that in post somehow. Though, should I go ahead and leave the other one in there too? I kind of think I should.
Yeah, it's fine.
Or maybe switch them. No, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I really do like that new ending as compared to what I was using before, which was just some music. But that's, what time is it? Wow, it's almost 12:30 here. I know you got to go because you've got stuff that you need to do.
Yeah, well, those walls aren't going to paint themselves.
Let me hit finish here.